Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to be with you all and to introduce some of my really, really good friends, Dr. Lakeisha, Dr. Kristen, and Dr. Tamika. And a few months ago, we decided to come together formally as a group called CAPE-MD. We all are very passionate about healthcare disparities, healthcare issues that affect women. And we wanted to create a platform in which we could deliver that information in a really transparent way. And so I'm just excited about this potential opportunity and for us to share it with you. I'm an anesthesiologist and pain medicine physician in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I'm going to let Dr. Lakeisha introduce herself.
Hello, hola. What is it? Buenos dias. I don't speak Spanish, but hey, listen. I'm Dr. Lakeisha. I do speak Spanish, un poquito, a little bit. I'm making jokes because this is organic. This is for women who, in addition to having 40 years of professional experience as physicians, collectively, we have over 40 years of friendship. So we're more like sisters and BFFs and colleagues at the same time. And this organically, the CAPE-MD came up because we found ourselves fielding questions with respect to medical issues that specifically dealt with minority communities, because we find that various shows will talk about different medical topics, but seldomly touch on how they specifically impact the medical community. So we said, you know what? It seems like people are looking for information on how different issues impact them particularly. So let's give the people what they want, but you know what? We're people first and MD second, well, maybe third or fourth, because we're all moms and wives, etc. And we're just gonna keep it regular degular with you guys. So having said that, I'm gonna pass the puck to one of the other two, because guess what? This is regular degular. This is not scripted. And so we're just going with the flow, y'all. Next.
Well, I'll go next. I am Dr. Kristen. I am in the North Carolina. I have been practicing as an anesthesiologist, more specifically as an independent contractor for the last almost 18 months. So I do travel for my job, which of course has been impacted by COVID-19. But I'm also a mom of 2 children. And I'm also an entrepreneur. I have 2 small businesses. One is a medical spa. So being that it's not an essential business, it's also been impacted by COVID-19. The other business is with the beauty brand. It is a home-based business. So that one has actually not been impacted nearly as much, thankfully. So I am counting my blessings. But yeah, things have been quite different from the norm in the last couple of months with the kids at home. My husband works from home now.
So all y'all in the same house getting on each other. God damn nerves.
We are all in the same office.
I was thinking that.
I mean, before this, I've never really needed a home office. So like, when we picked this house out, I told Jarvis, I was like, it's yours. You can decorate it however you want. Girl, like.
And I hate it.
Like, me and Jarvis don't fight, but I was like giving him the silent treatment for like a week, because I was like, you need to start sharing your office. I need some space because I need to work too now. And we were in a disagreement about something, and ooh, child, I've never been that mad at him before over office space. But this is what happens when you stuck in the house.
What happened was, all right, we're gonna kick
both kids in the office too. Ooh, Lord, it's been fun.
Kick the puck to me.
It's awesome. So I'm Dr. Tamika. I have 3 children. I am a family practitioner who also does sports medicine, and I spend 50% of my time teaching medical students. and things are different. And so I work from home more than I did in the past, secondary to having respiratory clinic and then having to self-quarantine for 2 weeks after. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been self-quarantined after seeing COVID-19 patients 2 weeks ago, and I hate it because, like Dr. Kristen, I have had to share an office. Why? Because I don't work from home. I'm a family doc. I work in an office, my own office, and I am the boss, and I'm a mean boss. No, I'm not mean, but I'm the boss. So I rule the roost in my office, and it's hard having to know that I have to share this space with my husband. So that's been different. Things have just been a little different. I have one in college who, of course, had to leave college a little early. I have 2 young boys who are now being homeschooled. Things are just a little different, and we've had to kind of reevaluate everything. I love what I do, so I don't love homeschooling, but I love everything else I do.
Speaking of the elephant, let's talk about being teachers now. Shout out to
my
all
gift.
America. Y'all deserve a triple, quadruple raise with a bonus on top with time off. I'm talking about 8 weeks off. I'm talking about gift cards, free bottles of wine, all that. The Atlanta should just have a teacher weekend and just invite all y'all for like a whole weekend, all expense paid trip, because this shit that y'all do every day for 8 to 10 hours, and I'm a doctor, I'm an anesthesiologist, we all are, well, sports medicine. The point is, we have about 100 years of school between the 4 of us, and I have mad respect. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna make it, y'all. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna make it.
I teach medical students. It ain't the same. It's not the same. I teach adult learners. I taught medical students, residents, fellows. I don't know.
Different.
Teachers should quit long time ago.
Let me tell you,
small kids hits different.
2nd grade is kicking my ass.
Keisha.
We lost one. We lost one.
She's right though. That
I knew it died. The way you cut off like that.
Yeah, Kristen said you died, Teddy Riley.
Yeah, we're gonna call you Teddy for the rest of the show.
Man. Yo, how you not gonna have his how you not gonna have his iPhone charged?
Yo.
That was crazy.
What I can't say is these online DJs been giving me life.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have y'all listened to DJ Nice After Dark?
Yes, absolutely. Oh yes, all the way to the bomb.
DJ Nice.
Y'all need to let me know about that next time.
You know, and I go to bed early. Me and Amber, the early birds. So I have every once in a while I'll stay up a little late just to hear if he puts a little Instagram that he's doing a little after set at night.
It don't start till midnight, yo. Y'all like
midnight.
It don't. Yeah, it's
never.
late.
I'm gonna have to always miss it.
Well, because
when does he
East
eat?
Coast time. I mean, it's West Coast time, so it's not that late there.
But that's when it pop off. Like last night, it was like old school female, and Jody Watley was on there, and he was playing her song. Pebbles was on there. He was playing her song. Halle Berry was, bopping it up. Mickey Howard was up in the house. He was playing their songs. Like, it was for real, like a real whole vibe. So thanks to D-Nice.
Music is healing. I mean, it has the power, I think, to lift your spirits and to heal wounds. So, I've been thankful for music. I had to break out an old school gospel list last week. Like Kirk Franklin wasn't going to cut it. Like, I need some old school, some Mississippi mass choir type old school gospel.
Amber, when you sent me that the other day, it was right on time. Because I was telling someone, like, the hardest part of getting through, not only having my routine messed up, but having to homeschool my children. And I joke, but it's hard to work and then homeschool my kids. And I'm someone who thrives off routine. I go to the gym like clockwork. Monday, Wednesday, I'm at the gym at 5:30 in the morning. So I thrive. And so I've had to rearrange my whole life based off of this. And it's hard. Like I go through days where I'm really down. And so the music for me has helped a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I was sharing with you all earlier that I've had to do some real introspection and admit to myself that I really thrive off of busyness. Having a jam-packed schedule is my sweet spot. Having something to do every minute of the day is where I perform at my highest. And so not having everything be so jam-packed, not having to be at the gym at 5 a.m., much like you, Dr. Tamika, has really caused me to like pause, have a reevaluation, kind of mourn the loss of certain things. So this, for me, especially the last 2 weeks, has been a really difficult transition.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
so y'all, you know.
What were you saying, Dr. Kristen?
Oh, I was just going to say that I'm kind of the opposite from you guys. I feel like I get super stressed out when I'm really busy. And this I would say like the last 18 months is the busiest I've ever been in my life. And I mean, I was stressed out. And so this has kind of been a little bit of a break. I don't know. I kind of feel bad saying that, but that's just, I mean, it's my reality. Like I have felt so much less stress in the last few weeks than I feel like I felt in a long time. Just because I got to slow down. And I definitely have felt like, I mean, even in my skin, like I was breaking out like crazy because of stress. And it has been,
You blowing now,
girl, it has, I mean, like dramatic change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm laughing a lot, but I just want our viewers to know that this is us, right? So we're planning to have weekly episodes where we talk about various topics. And subsequent to today's episode, over the next 3 episodes, really over the next month or 2, we're going to explain to you what the TheC4PEMD means, where the name came from, why the spelling is the way it is with the number 4 as opposed to the letter A in the name. But more importantly, in addition to providing you with clinical expertise, we're going to be showing you who we are, you know, no white coats on, just regular, degular. And we figured what better way or what better time frame to start than now, because we are impacted just as much as you're impacted. And I think the beauty of what's going on now, and I said beauty, is that everybody is on the same level, right? So irrespective of your economic status, irrespective of your job, whether you're a physician or whether you are a custodial worker or whatever, everybody is at home, or some people aren't even working. For example, Dr. Kristen and I are contractors, and that means we travel, which means that if there are no elective cases in the operating room, guess who's not working? We are not. And Dr. Kristen and I are small business owners, and so her small business has closed. My small business is an essential business. We deal with mental illness. But guess who's in their infancy in their small business? Both of us. So guess who's working for free every day? But you know what? I say all that to say, we feel you. You know, just because we have MD after our name doesn't mean that we were born that way. We're people too. You know, we're moms, we're docs, we're wives, and now we're teachers. I mean, honestly, it's some bullshit, but we're getting through it. And this is how we get through it. And so every week you're going to see us chit-chatting, getting to know our personalities, but we're always going to give you tools at the end of each episode where you can have some take-home points as to how to deal. So for example, Dr. Kristen talked about how it's enabled her to slow down, to de-stress, and the manifestations of stress. Acne has now gone away. I mean, look at her. You look gorgeous, darling.
Thanks, Boo.
Dr. Amber has talked about how she thrives off being busy. Dr. Tamika has talked about how she thrives off having a schedule. And now y'all are forced to slow the hell down. You know what I mean? You don't like
I'm not feeling it.
You're not feeling it yet, but guess what? Guess what comes in uncomfortability? Growth. Why? Because you're learning something new. You're being
I feel like
forced
we're on one big continuous loop. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. It doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. One
Like, what's
big
today?
old continuous loop.
It's Groundhog's Day every day right now.
Every day. Every day.
Just
Yeah.
pass the wine, yo.
That was the problem. Snacking, salt and vinegar potato chips, cheese, and caramel popcorn. Child, I'm gonna have the COVID-15 by the time this is over.
You
25.
can't do salt and vinegar without mixing it with the Doritos. Just do the online workout the next morning. That's all. That's what I do.
Now, hey, you cannot outwork a bad diet. Period. Point blank.
That's true. That's true.
So what are we, so this takeaway, I think what we should give everybody is kind of what are we all doing to get through it? So I had picked up bad habits. So I had picked up eating inappropriately and drinking whatever I wanted. So I, this week, purposely made sure that I stopped those two things and didn't do them as much, which I succeeded. Today's the first day I've had a little cocktail. Thank you. But I have picked up my good habits again. So I like to work out. I prefer to work out in the morning. So I found somebody online who's local here. So I'm supporting a local business, which makes me feel good. So I'm supporting a small business and working out on her Zoom session 3 times a week. I feel great afterwards. I feel like 1, I've helped a small business, but 2, I've helped myself. She gives helpful tips about what to eat, what to drink, and that has made me feel better. And so it gives me back a little bit of my morning workout schedule that I had before. And 1 day a week, I meet my partners for lunch. So we all meet at our office. We kind of go a little early so we can catch up on some work, but then we also do lunch. And so I felt like that's the best thing I could do for myself, was try to get some routine in this time when there's not much of a routine. Stop it, Lakeisha. Dr. Lakeisha, I'm not.
Is this a virtual lunch? Is this a virtual lunch?
This is a virtual lunch.
See, we check
You
each other
psychopaths.
too. We check each other too. Okay.
It's a virtual lunch 1 day a week. We have lunch, we talk, we joke, and it works. So that's what I've been doing. Dr. Amber, what you been doing?
So, I like to read, and up until recently, most of the things that I was reading were medically related. And so I've gotten to read one book. I'm halfway through another. And I enjoy that. People are always kind of surprised when I tell them I'm an introvert. And so in some ways, being, staying at home more has allowed me to be able to get back to some of the basic things that I love to do. And just being in meditation and being in prayer, and just being in silence actually has been good. Just sitting down and just being in my thoughts. I'm starting to think about what I want to bring with me when we get to this new normal, and what are some of the habits and things that I may want to leave behind, that maybe weren't healthy, like being busy and having a jam-packed schedule. And some of it is inevitable with the line of work, but some of it, if I'm really honest with myself, was really self-imposed.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
Dr. Lakeisha?
I so y'all probably see I'm maybe one of the silly ones in the group, but that might be my default now. I don't know. Was I always crazy? Probably. Anyway, I
20 years,
started.
boo. You've been crazy.
Forever.
Work hard, play hard, right? I throughout this whole thing, I think I've recognized the altruism within myself. I'm the daughter of an attorney and a state senator and a school teacher. And so helping people has always been in my blood, hence the profession I chose. But I think throughout this whole process, you know, being an anesthesiologist and the whole kind of lack of protective equipment, I'm just gonna be real, pissed me off. Like to the point where I decided to do something about it. I think it's completely unacceptable that as physicians on a day-to-day basis, you put yourself in harm's way because you took an oath to protect the community. And for the infrastructures in which you work to not value your life enough to provide you with proper protective equipment that is cheap to manufacture, tells me that no longer are physicians respected, but now we're viewed as commodities and possibly replaceable, and hence you don't matter. You just better come, you better show up, you better take care of these COVID-19 patients and put a bandana on your face. That's dumb. So I did something about it. I started a charity. It's called maskahero.com. We accept all unused N95 masks, and we also accept monetary donations. And with those monetary donations, I have supplier contacts across the country, not in the United States, sadly, but cross country. And I purchase them and I supply my friends and colleagues and people that I don't know with N95 masks. Because at the end of the day, if they don't value my life enough, I'm going to value my life enough to do something about it. And the fact that I'm even having this discussion still blows my mind. So.
Not only your life, but the life of other physicians. It's amazing what your organization has done. And what's it called again? Just so everyone will know.
Sure. So it's if you want to know how to donate, or if you want to donate, go to www.maskahero.com. We're also on social media, Instagram and Facebook at Help Mask a Hero. That's Help Mask a Hero. We have various state subsidiaries. One of our biggest state subsidiaries is New York. They're killing it in New York. They supply over 10 hospitals, over 10,000 masks. We've been featured.
That's amazing.
Local Newsworks. We were even on Sports Center for a basketball kind of theme type of commercial. Rebecca Minkoff has made a special t-shirt for our charity. So it's grown a lot of legs and I'm proud of it. And so, you know,
we're proud of you too, boo.
You know, I just tell everybody,
We are.
it's hell, but y'all, you know, some of the best things come out of the most jacked up situations. And, you know, it's just like a lotus flower. A lotus flower grows from marshes and swamps and stuff. And so I don't know what the hell this is going to bring to our country, but I have to hold on to optimism and glass half full that at least is going to make people check their perspectives and check their priorities and quite possibly do things differently so that life can be just a tad bit better.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Kristen, you are going to roll it out. What you been doing to kind of help your mental state, even though you kind of like this slow, boring life you have right now?
One thing that I definitely have really, really appreciated in having the time to stop and be more present, not just with my family at home, but also with people who I may have lost touch with, or even people that I've kept in touch with, but just didn't really reach out as often as I should have or would have wanted to. I think this has really given me the opportunity to really just take time and catch up with people, to see, how people really are doing. We get so busy where it's just like hey, every, couple of months, once or twice a year. And now it's like I actually get to sit down and have a glass of wine over Zoom with, one of my best friends across the country, some of my best friends from college. And I really enjoyed that. And I'm really hoping that's something that I can maintain when things are quasi back to normal. Granted, I'm sure we'll all get busier again. Who knows how close to normal it will get. But I'm hoping that I can at least keep doing that, because I do really enjoy seeing and talking to people who I've kind of, haven't really had the chance to spend that much time with in the last few years. So
I'm just looking forward to getting a haircut.
And a hair too. Oh God, I cannot wait to see my beautician.
Woo! So, ain't enough gel in the world.
No, it's not. These ugly nails. But I think the one thing that I want everyone to take away from this is that, as you can see, we all, 4 of us, have something different that we have done to kind of help us through. And so if you look at the TheC4PEMD social media pages, you will notice that we try to give you options, ideas, stuff you can do, but do what feels good to you, because I know this is hard. We got 2 small business owners in this group, and they're both dealing with it. And so we understand when you don't get paid, when you're not doing what you want to do, when you're sitting at home and you're used to being on the go, that things are different. Things are hard. I would not tell you that things are easy right now, because they're not. But try to do what makes you do at least one thing every day that makes you feel better. That makes you better, be better. Some deal with what we are dealing with until we can all get to the point where we are safe to open back up. So on that note, I will say bye. Anybody else want to say anything else?
I just want everybody to know that life is about choices, right? You can't control what happens. You can't control what life brings your way, but you can control how you respond to it, right? So in the midst of this, you have 2 choices. You can either focus on the negative, the uncertainties, fears. You can watch every single news channel and you could be woe is me all day, or you can figure out how and what makes you at least smile. Seeing these 3 other ladies gives me life. Music gives me life. Wine gives me life. So find the positive in every situation. I'm not condoning it, but if you drink red wine, that's a cardiovascular protective measure, 8 ounces a day. That's a tip right there.
Anybody else?
One of the things from the book that Dr. Lakeisha and I read recently, one of the quotes from that book that really stuck with me was just, when you're in times of difficulty and you're just trying to figure out what's next. This author says, do the next right thing, one thing at a time.
They said it too also.
Do they really? I didn't know that.
About do the next right thing.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Yeah, so do the next right thing, one thing at a time. So sometimes I just really have to slow myself. I've had to force myself, okay, like what, since I'm not on this tight schedule, okay, what needs to get done next? Just literally one moment, 1 hour, it seems like one long hour after another long hour after another long day, but nevertheless, one thing at a time.
And if you're looking for a good read, it's a good read. It's called, What's it called?
Warrior.
All right, Love Warrior.
Yeah.
And
We're
just so
regular.
y'all know,
We're regular.
it must start kind of slow because Amber was feeling, Dr. Amber
Man,
was not
it
feeling
was
it at first.
depressing. It was depressing the first 150, like
Well,
100
that's 'cause
pages.
she was trying to find herself amidst a jacked up marriage, and she went from heterosexual to being homosexual. But in the midst of it all, she found out who the hell she was as a woman, and she ended up learning how to live unapologetically without making excuses and without offering explanation to anybody. Basically, living her true self. That is
The author's name, Glennon Doyle.
yeah, her. She just
Yeah.
came out with a new one too. If y'all read that with us, called Tame.
Yeah. No,
No,
That's gonna be,
Untamed. I'm sorry, Glennon.
yeah, that's my
I
third
like
book. I have 2 books ahead of it, and then I'm gonna read that one.
Yeah.
That's just Dr. Kristen. Anything you want to leave us with?
I guess all I want to leave you all with is, I think it's really easy for anyone to compare their situation with the next person. So just know that, if you're struggling during this time, it's okay. You're not alone. It's okay to not be okay. I know Dr. Lakeisha says that all the time. And it really is, because you're not alone. There are lots of people struggling right now. And I know sometimes I feel a little guilty for being like, oh man, I'm kind of liking this break, because I know there are people struggling. So it's okay to be okay, and it's okay to not be okay. And, just you can't compare your situation with someone else's. We're all kind of going through the same situation, trying to adjust to this new normal, but we all may be dealing with it differently. So, reach out to your circle, to your support system. And if you don't have one, we have some resources for you as well.
Yeah. Stay tuned, y'all. We'll have all kinds of topics coming up, from relationships to bad breakups to depression and mental illness, PTSD to, COVID-19 physical manifestations, cancer, skincare, the whole 9. There's no topic that will go untouched. And if you have any topics that you want to suggest, I don't even know what the hell this format is, so put them in the comments below, or to the side, or to the left, or to the, I don't know, wherever. Just reach out and touch.
We're gonna post it on everything. So just comment, and we will add your comment and your suggestions later. Thank you.
Peace.
Night, ladies.
Bye.
Night.
More wine.